talk about upcoming events this week, and it's not only about the Fed. So immediately we'll have the UK jobs report. Watch out if jobless claims are up. We're seeing a contradiction between the immediate jobless claims, for example, for November this time, and then the unemployment rate and wages for October. US retail sales at 1:30 GMT, usually a top-tier event that rocks markets, but today the focus is on the Fed. We also have PPI. I think it still matters, retail sales. It will not impact the Fed, but it will still move markets. And when the dust settles from the Fed, the US retail sales will still have its impact. Remember, the US economy is about consumption, so don't ignore this figure. Then we have industrial output later on and the regular oil inventories. Let's see if oil can push higher or not. And of course, we had the long preview about the Fed. So I made a mistake here with the time. It's 7 GMT and 7:30. Sorry about that. 7 is the Fed decision itself, the dot plot, and the statement. And Yellen begins her press conference at 7:30 GMT. Join us for live coverage on FX Street. It should be lots of fun. Tomorrow, of course, we'll have reactions to the Fed decision. A huge event, of course, which always has a second impact in the Tokyo session, then in the European session, then in the new US session. But in addition, we have the Australian jobs report. We've seen a few good months of gains. Let's see if this continues. Australian dollar has been a bit frustrating. Early in the morning tomorrow, we have the Eurozone PMIs. Recently, they have less impact than beforehand. At 8:30 GMT, we have the Swiss rate decision. Happens only once per quarter, but still not so exciting because because it's they usually don't make any changes until they do. They remove the peg, and then it's a huge move. Sorry. And at 9:30 UK, retail sales should move the pound, but once again, retail sales, as in the US, are overshadowed by the rate decision. Rate decision at 12 GMT in the UK. I don't expect anything. Should be quite boring. Their big decision was in November when they changed their stance from dovish to neutral, pushing the pound higher. Now I don't expect them to make any change. There's no quarterly inflation report. It could well turn into a non-event, even though they could reveal something new in the meeting minutes. I believe they will not rock the boat. I don't expect any big moves in the pound, but you never know when markets don't expect something. We can have surprises. So that's in the UK at 12 GMT, rate decision over there. So quite a few top-tier events tomorrow as well, and also today. And more on Thursday, US inflation, CPI, jobless claims, as every Thursday. CPI, of course, comes after the Fed, but we'll still want to look at the trends. The Fed Philly index and the current account all at the same time, 1:30 GMT, so it's quite a big event. And for those trading the Canadian dollar, we have a speech from the governor of the Bank of Canada. And on Friday, we have final CPI in the Eurozone. It comes a week after the ECB, so it shouldn't be that important. It's also final figure, but sometimes we have surprises over there. And to finish the week, we have building permits and housing starts from the US. They can offset each other, cause confusion. The bigger events, of course, are Wednesday and Thursday. Friday will be a bit more quiet, more impact from the Fed, perhaps, more time to digest what's going on. Okay, so that's the upcoming events. Question here from Jax. Will the USD continue to strengthen through the holiday season? I'm not sure. I think a lot depends on the Fed. The easy answer is the Fed. We might see, as the US dollar had a lot of strength during this year, we might see, especially towards the end of the year, we might see some kind of unwinding. If everything else remains equal, we might see some kind of unwinding, some kind of USD weakness, and then a renewed strength in the new year. Remember, we have end of year positioning, okay? Let's continue.